The last real leaf had crumbled to dust decades ago. Now, nature was a subscription service. Algorithmic sunsets, synthetic birdsong piped through apartment vents, the occasional holographic butterfly that dissolved if you tried to touch it. George was the only one who noticed something was wrong. George worked in the least visited wing of the Global Archive, the Natural History Division. His job was to maintain exhibits no one cared about. Pressed flowers behind glass, jars of extinct insects, a single oak desk that had once grown in sunlight. One rainy Tuesday. The weather app said it was raining, so the window screens displayed rain. He found a small wooden box, mislabeled office supplies. Inside was an acorn. The label read, Carcus Robert, last specimen collected 2092. For the first time in his life, George stole something. His apartment was a 200 square foot cube in Sector 7, like everyone else's. There was no soil, no outdoor space, no unregulated containers. But that night, George smashed his coffee maker and used its reservoir as a pot. He tore up his synth cotton sheets to make fake dirt. When he pressed the acorn into the little makeshift soil, 3 things happened. Number 1, his hands began to sweat. A biological response he'd only read about. The air smelled different, like the pages of old books. The power in his building flickered for exactly 3.7 seconds. 2 weeks later, a thin green stem pushed through the soil. George watched it for 6 straight hours, his eyes burning. When he finally slept, he dreamed of deep, dark places, where roots whispered to each other in chemical languages older than cities. The next morning, a hairline fracture appeared in his apartment wall. Through it, George saw sunlight that didn't come from LEDs, air that moved without fans, colors that didn't exist in the spectrum of corporate displays. The crack smelled like childhood, like something he'd known before he'd learned the word impossible. The building AI detected the anomaly immediately. Structural breach detected. Chimed the ceiling. Please remain calm. Containment team en route. George looked at the seedling, now 4.3 centimeters tall. He looked at the crack, now wide enough to split 2 fingers through. The containment team would erase his memory of the acorn, sterilize his apartment, report him for biological abuse. The elevator dinged down the hall. George did something no one had done in generations. He improvised. With one hand, he scooped up the seedling. With the other, he tore open the crack just wide enough. The sound of real birds flooded in. When the containment team burst in, they found an empty coffee pot, a wall repairing itself, and the faint scent of something the databases couldn't identify. It was petrichor, the smell of earth after rain. the word no longer existed in any dictionary. We all strive to have a part of George inside ourselves. We don't lose the world when it ends. We lose it when we stop paying attention to what's real. When we accept the comfortable lie that simulations or stimulations can replace the things they imitate. True rebellion isn't destruction, it's remembering. And sometimes remembering is as simple as noticing a crack in the wall and being brave enough to step